So reality is where I'm gonna blog my dreams, try to find out what's going on in here. So the dream I had last night starts as it usually does. I'm in bed and I get out of my bed, and before I know it, I'm somewhere completely different. This time I stepped out of my bed and I was in Brooklyn, in New York, and I was trying to hail a cab. I've only been to Brooklyn once in my life, and it was a pretty interesting experience. But I was trying to hail a cab, and for some reason I was trying to get to the Lower East Side, and I couldn't get a taxi. The streets were completely empty, and the streets were really empty. And then I don't know, there was a dog there, and I kind of followed it for a bit, and it was the only thing around. So I guess I should have, asked it a question, see if it could talk. But I was in a dream, and I didn't think I should do that. And then the dog went into an apartment block, and the apartment block, there was a light on in the top floor. So I kind of went up the stairs and followed the dog up the stairs and went into this landing of this apartment block, and it was completely dark, but there was like a light at the end of the hallway, and there was a door. The light was coming in underneath the door, and the dog was kind of scratching on the door. So I walked up to the door, and I banged on the door, and no one was there. I opened the door, and there was just a record playing. I can't remember what the music was, but it was very, very eerie. And then I kind of left, and I opened the door, and I was back in London again. I was in a restaurant. It was just, I can't really remember much about it, but I just remember there were a lot of my friends were in there, but friends I hadn't seen for a long time. And they were all eating kind of really extravagant food, fruit, lambs, chocolate. It was everywhere. It was really quite disgusting. And they weren't using knives and forks, they were using their hands. And they were eating very kind of barbarically, kind of gorging themselves on this luxury. And I kind of just wanted to get out and ran out into the streets, and when I woke up. I don't know what it means. If you can help me figure it out, I'd really appreciate it.